Hey everybody, thanks for being here. Just wanted to say that this has been probably one of my most exciting topics. This is our 6th Marquee event. So thanks for being here. Music and psychedelics, I think, goes hand in hand. We're gonna learn a lot about the different aspects of what that means. I wanted to start by saying that music is the medicine. I think that the medicine and the entheogens and compounds that a lot of us here enjoy in harmony with music are portals, but I think the music itself is actually the medicine. So there's a lot of healing and a lot of creativity, and we're gonna explore the intersection of music and psychedelics, healing and creativity. Thanks everyone for being here. So huge shout out to the sponsors. Honestly, this is a ecosystem, a psychedelics ecosystem. I like that term more than industry. I think of it more as a mycelium network, and there's been dozens and dozens of organizations that we've had the privilege of either having come to Santa Barbara or meeting out in other contexts, trade shows and conferences in California and around the country. So this is definitely, I like revolution over renaissance, but psychedelics revolution is occurring. First, I want to thank Brandon and Portal. Portal is partnering with us on this event. They're incredibly heart-driven. They're a partnership of responsible trippers, as they say, advocating for legalization. So advocacy is a huge part of both Portal and District216's mission. Thank you, Portal. They just did a great bicycle day event in Denver at Meow Wolf. It went off amazingly well, so we're honored to have them here, and we're hoping to do more District216 and Portal events in different cities around the country. So thank you for letting us scale. And Brandon's going to be up here later with Torquem on the Fireside chat. So you get to hear more from Portal a little bit later. So we did a survey about a year ago, and our members told us we had a mission statement, we had a vision statement, we had all of these things, and we assumed this is what a psychedelic social club would be. But I like to listen actively to the members and ask them, what actually does this provide for you? And they told us kind of 4 main pieces of value, if you will. So my presentation is going to hone in on that, because we redid all of our, thanks to Emma Claire, our director of marketing, we redid all of our visuals, right? We did all of our posters and flyers and web assets, and it took quite a bit of effort. And we're using these 4 values. And so this new sort of ethos is that we're centered around community, healing, learning, and consciousness expansion through art, music, cannabis, and psychedelics. So I want to start by just saying these are our values that I think not just embody District216, but also music and psychedelics. So this is a very natural fit. The community, we couldn't do this without you. People have said the connectivity actually has being here and being able to share their stories and talk to somebody about their psychedelic experiences. We have roundtables here on Wednesday nights, for example. We have integration circles that we host. This space provides some healing for them not to feel isolated or like they're crazy for talking to their friends that don't have context for what a psychedelic experience may provide. And so for us I feel privileged to be able to be a container for those kind of conversations, and for them to come and tell me that this has been a healing place and experience is huge. It definitely, keeps us going. When we started, we called these sort of events edutainment. And so we've always had this sort of educational focus at the core of what we do too. And there's been a lot of learning that's happened here. I've learned a ton. I get a first row seat to all of these talks, lectures, presentations, and it's pretty stunning to hear the breadth of information and knowledge and wisdom that comes from, people that have been in and around this psychedelics ecosystem, in some cases for decades. And last but not least, we're here to help and hopefully awaken and expand our consciousness. At the end of the day, what I hope happens by these kinds of events and by these connections and by everybody that's here. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. And hopefully we can raise our collective consciousness together. So shifting gears into the music space itself, I mean, going back into the community, that for me was my first introduction to the psychedelics world. For those of you who know me, I'm in a little cult known as the band Fish. And it was all about the community. It was all about the fans. It was all about the artists. It was all about, the staff, the crew around the band that allowed me to kind of feel that anything is possible and to become an entrepreneur from harnessing that energy. When you're looking at artists at festivals, they're always collaborating and sitting in with each other. Fan bases are absolutely rabid for these connections that happen in music communities. And then the industry itself, you have so many dedicated people putting everything on behind the scenes. Healing. Did anyone have like mixtapes, like breakup mixtapes? That was like a thing, like cassettes, not CDs, not Spotify playlists, cassettes. I had a breakup cassette. It was pretty awesome. So a lot of healing through music. We've had music as a healing, a tactic for us, for grief, for trauma, for all of these things. I think it's pretty obvious to anyone that's connected with a musical experience. And then being able to learn through, problem solving, innovation, insights, and reflection through musical experiences. I think this can happen, especially when you're in an environment where there's improvisation going on. And of course, within the context of consciousness expansion, we have that within ourselves and within community and with spirit. So there's this universality that comes within that context of consciousness expansion. Last time around the wheel, we're going one more time. We're doing this 3 times. And the last one is within the context of a psychedelic experience. Back to community, we have all these contexts in which psychedelics are taken in a community setting, recreationally, with intention, with a group, in ceremony, or in a therapeutic group setting. And here at District216, we like to embrace all of the above. There's not one right way to have these experiences. Most of you are aware about the healing properties with mental health, trauma, addiction, well-being, and end-of-life uses. There's tremendous healing power of psychedelics. I'm excited for you to hear some of the stories tonight. And then within that last value of learning, self-reflection, cognitive existentialism, and empathy, I think we can have a lot to learn by increasing our collective empathy. And I've seen a lot of people kind of turn around. There's stories of white nationalists that have taken psychedelics and kind of backed off from their dogmatic practices. So I think there's a lot of potential there for, a continued empathy. And last but not least, psychedelics within the consciousness expansion realm, we have neuroplasticity. We have a reduction in the default mode network. We have more compassion and more mindfulness. These are all attainable, and I think we're all collectively working towards this future. And of course, it wouldn't be a music and psychedelics event if we didn't quote some of the great. So I have a few quotes to kind of round this out, and then I'm going to introduce the run of show. Aldous Huxley said, "The interplay of psychedelics and music can create a transcendental experience that allowed us to tap in to the collective consciousness and explore the depths of our own psyche." Or you have Terence McKenna, who said, "Music is one of the only arts that transcends the physical, and psychedelic experiences deepen our understanding of this transcendence, showing us how integral music is the fabric of human experience and cultural expression." Or Timothy Leary, "Through the use of psychedelics and music, we transcend the ordinary boundaries of perception, gaining insights into the nature of reality and the universe." And of course, last but not least, shout out to Raghu and our Love, Serve, Remember Foundation. We're so honored to have them here. Ram Dass said that music can become a spiritual experience when combined with psychedelics, as it opens the heart and mind, creating a powerful sense of connection and unity. And so tonight, let's have some connection and unity. All right, a little tiny bit of housekeeping. I swear this is not a sales pitch, but 16 months since we launched. I like to give the visual of year one. We did this last time, but there's some new faces here. So 55 events we produced here in this space in year one, from January of 23 to January of 24. Big shout out to LoDo Studios, which is the building here that's been hosting all of these events. So this is our home for the District's House on Wednesday nights. We do film screenings, we do roundtable conversations, workshops, and of course, interviews. And since the last Marquee event 4 months ago, 21 more events. What do you know? So we've been rocking in 2024, year 2. So tonight makes 76. And of course, is there anything fun after tonight? Yes, we have a comedy event next Friday. For those of you who like Shane Moss, he's a psychedelic comedian. You might have seen him on Comedy Central, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to have him here in Santa Barbara on this stage Friday night. Tickets are still available. And then last but not least, there's a lot of people that have been connecting in with us from South America and other places because we film all this content and they want to connect with it. So we have online memberships available for those that are not fortunate enough to be here in Santa Barbara and Southern California. And we have this whole platform. You can go in and watch content that we've filmed. And there's all sorts of topics from plant medicine to neuroscience and everything in between. So tonight, the main event, we have Brandon, who I mentioned from Portal, and we have Torkum. Torkum, I got to give him a shout out for quantum harmonics. There we go. We get some Torkum love. He's amazing. A lot of these folks have come up from LA. Brandon's flown out here from Nashville. Thank you, Brandon, for coming out. They're going to talk. They're going to start us off right now. So I'm going to introduce Brandon DeRoche from Portal and Torkum G from Quantum Harmonics. Come on up for your fireside chat. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to offer.